Welcome, friends, to another episode of Dan Tremblay Music. Today, I do something that's very uncomfortable for me. Create a track live. Hit record and go. And we're creating a track from absolutely nothing, not from a template, not from anything, just from an improvisation, just to give you some insight into my process. So it's a very short track. It's a very minimalistic track. There's nothing hardcore in terms of the mix or anything like that, but just to give you an insight so you can see how I work in a live setting. Things go wrong. I have software issues, glitches, and you can watch me fumble around and try to figure out how to fix things. And I'll put a little timeline at the bottom of this video so that you can kind of fast forward to the different parts. Thanks for all your support. Thanks for all your comments. Remember to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. If you want to hear me perform live, I am streaming twice a week on Twitch. You can click below. It's free to follow me on Twitch. Not going to cost you a thing. I play, we chat, we hang out. It's a lot of fun. So come check it out if you can. And let's get to it. All right, here we go. Live composing. Unedited live composing. That seems like a really bad idea. So this is going to be off the grid, no metronome, no click track. It's going to be a piano improvisation. I have a couple of ideas of chords that I'm going to do, but I don't exactly know where it's going to go. And we're just going to see what happens. So here we go. You're watching it in progress. This is my massive template that I've set up. I literally have Valhalla Room Reverb on bus 1. I have Ozone 6 on the mix bus, which is inactive right now. We'll throw that on later. And that's it. And I've loaded up one instance of Noir Felt. Okay, so it's not like I've started with some kind of big template. Here we go. So I'm going to do, get rid of that click track. And we're just going to play. never cut off the reverb tail. So we're gonna hold that chord down and get all that whole tail in there. Don't want to mess it up. And there we go. We have a piano track, okay? And I try to do this all the time. So there's no click, there's no metronome, there's no. If it's in 4/4, we can tell that it's in a time signature. We can tell that it's in C major. So I do pick a key to start off with. But in terms of sometimes I just want to just turn things on, just hit record and just go. And I try as much as possible to get one take. And what it does is it forces me to make decisions on the spot. And I might have some ideas about what chords I want to use. But sometimes I might decide, I'm going to take that F and I'm going to do the old, I call it the Beatles trick, F major to a major, convert it to a minor. And I try to do this all the time. And now, is this some super complex composition? No. It's more of a kind of like a free form improvisation based composition, which is what I do. All right, so normally I'd go back and I'd listen to it and, maybe I'm going to tweak it. I am not doing anything. That piano track that you heard, that is it. That is the final version. Okay, now the thing that's going to get a little tricky is now we got to add stuff in there. Okay, so, and it's not on the click. So normally, you'd have sections recorded. You could go back in and line things up. You can quantize. There's no quantizing this puppy, which is another thing that I really like about it, because I think we get so caught up in locking everything into tempos and everything's perfect and in sync. And Chopin. Go listen to Chopin, the inventor of rubato. That's all I got to say about that. Okay. So, and I'm not comparing myself to Chopin at all. Okay, that was just, but a dude wrote some incredible piano music. Okay, so now I'm going to throw something else in there. And I have no idea what. So now this is the part of the thing where some of you are going to want to like fast forward, because you're going to watch me struggle. You're going to watch me struggle. You're going to watch me search for sounds. That's kind of what this thing is all about. So I've been doing a whole lot of Neo and a whole lot of Tundra. So yeah, let's throw some Tundra in there. Let's see what happens. Let's see what we can do. Let's do a little Stevenson Steam Band, and I am randomly selecting this one. No idea what this sounds like. Maybe we can do something with that. Let's see what else we got. I think it's too much. Let's try something else here. I've always liked the trembelos via a torn tweed. Just can't have no idea what that is. Still maybe just a little bit too much. Now you can tweak all these sounds. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I find this a little bit too much for this track, so let's see what else we got. Okay, I can work with this. Okay, this is gonna work. So this is the Northern Lights. Well, whatever, you guys can read it. So let's do it. So we got Tundra, Northern Lights. I can't spell. Okay, and I think we're gonna be able to do something with this. Okay, now I don't think we're gonna bring it in right at the beginning. So here's the tricky part. We haven't quantized this. There's like literally nothing. We just literally created this out of nothing. So this is what I do. I follow the notes, like the scroll, not in this editor, but in the main editor, so I can figure out where we're starting. Because remember, we're not locked into tempo, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna listen to it. I'm gonna drink my coffee while I'm listening to it. I'm gonna find a place to jump in there. Okay. All right, so maybe we got like a little basis of, now you're listening to a little bit of that and like, meh, maybe it's too much. Maybe it is. And you probably noticed that when I was working with that pad, I've talked a lot about pads. They can just eat up the entire frequency spectrum, just like, like it's nobody's business. So you'll notice that some of these notes I've left a little bit of space, okay? So there's a little bit of space. So I've actually lifted, created some rests, because the sound sustains, it continues to sustain. So if you're just holding it down, you're going to get a lot of built up resonance. So I try to put lots of space in there. As you can see, very, very usable sound. That's why I love these pads from the Albion series, because they evolve over time. So you heard that chord at the end, it just goes and goes and goes. And then they have the most beautiful release. You let go of the key and they fade into the distance. That's less work later on. Okay, I'm not gonna have to automate that. It's just gonna die down. It's much more of a natural kind of thing. So let's just listen back to it, and I can tell already that it's too high in the mix. So we're just gonna bring it down. Alright. So already it's sitting pretty well in the mix. The piano is the main deal. I want the pads to sit underneath, and another beautiful thing about the pads is you can hear it if you're listening to headphones. You can hear that just going back and forth, just space, stereo spectrum, so important. Okay, so we got a couple of tracks here. Let's see what else we got going on here. So I feel like I want to bring the strings in later on. So kind of after this part, probably gonna sneak them in. So basically, I got like a section. Actually, maybe it's back further. I think it's after here. Right there. So that's when I basically have like an A section that's played. It's like A, and then there's an ending. So right there, I'm repeating the same section again. To me, that's a perfect opportunity to bring some strings, and we're gonna want to sneak them in there. So Albion 1 is it's like big. We could check out Tundra, see what's going on here. So let's see, strings high, soft and wild. That sounds good. Let's see what we got going on here. Definitely not pizzicato. Okay, that's a maybe. Oh, I'm playing out of range. It's not quite what I'm looking for. Helps if you play in the range that you're supposed to. Okay, it's not what I'm hearing. Maybe it's the soft and wild that's not doing it for me. So let's. The soft and wild I think are great for getting kind of like creating tension. This is not really a tension kind of a track. Okay, I think this should be good. So we're gonna go with the far. I'm gonna use a little bit of that, or a lot of the built-in reverb within Spitfire. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Okay, gonna bring it back even a little bit. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay. All the dynamics, we're gonna add that later. Okay, so we got Tundra, strings, main, and what did I use? The float concertino. Okay, and yeah, this is gonna work nicely. All right, so let's see what we can do here. Okay, now you're listening to it and you're like, yeah, it doesn't sound real, it doesn't sound authentic. Well, just record it. It's way too loud in the mix. We need to get some control in there. So this is hopefully where Logic doesn't get angry with me, because we're also screen capping this at the same time. Coffee break. All right. So let's see what we got going on here. There we go. I'm going to learn this puppy. All right. Using the old Korg Nano control. Yes, I know there are way nicer controls, and yes, one day I want to have the way nicer controls, but for now, this is what I got. And I'm very cheap, and I'm all about using the things, using the tools that you have available. And, you know, when you can upgrade, you upgrade. So, but I'm not there yet. Okay, so now we're going to go in and we're going to control the dynamics. All right, so here we go. Got the old wiggle, very important. Wiggle it before you start. Usually I do this with my eyes closed, so here we go. Hearing nothing. What is going on here? Let's try this again. I think I dropped my sample. All right, so this is what happens when you try to screen cap and do things at the same time and record at the same time. Well, this is going to be very annoying, isn't it? I can see it there. It is right there, but it's not playing. There's nothing. There's silence. Oh boy. Let's try this. I got nothing. Nothing happening here. Except for extreme silence. Except for extreme silence. Come on. When's that new Mac coming out? This is good. This is why when you do these things live, things go wrong. So we problem solve. All right, is it a buffer issue? Because I'm also mixing at the same time. That's entirely possible. Let's see what happens. We'll bring up the old buffer size a little bit. Otherwise I'm gonna have to edit all this part of it out. This would be really annoying because that was the whole idea. Oh boy, you're being difficult. You're being very difficult. All right, we're gonna reload the sample. And as long as I remember what settings I used, we should be fine. All right, I'm gonna reload it. This is what happens when you're using a 2013 iMac and then you're also trying to record it, screen cap it at the same time. This is the things that go wrong. Okay, but don't want a new iMac yet, or I do want a new mic. There we go. Okay, we're back. We're back. All right, and so I might have to delete that from the video, but whatever. Okay, let's try this again, my friends. All right. All right, I got my dynamics controls, I got my settings back. I'm going to try and record again. Here we go. Attempt number 2. Okay, so we got a little bit of control going on there. There's some stuff that I don't like, but I think in terms of trying to keep this tutorial so that it doesn't turn into a 5-hour marathon. I wonder if you guys would watch a 5-hour video. There we go. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Get a little more reverb. We'll bring the strings back in the mix a little bit. One thing you find with the Noir library is that, you know, it's loading. You see I'm topping out at like -12. So I could go into the contact and I could do some gain staging there, but I might forget about it if it's over there. So instead, I'm just going to bring in a gain, and that way I can see it on my channel strip. A little 5 nuts is going to be way too much, but maybe I'll bring these puppies up a little bit and get a little bit more overall volume. As you can see, I still have a ton of headroom, and even if I'm clipping, I'm going to deal with that later on. Okay, so now I'm going to probably be able to bring the strings up a little bit. Okay, all right. So now we're getting somewhere. There's something there. There's something that wasn't there half an hour ago. Okay, so you know, I'm not gonna add it like a gazillion tracks to this because I don't want this video to get like, you know, inordinately long. But just to give you an idea of, so you can actually kind of see, you know, creating. Because when you see my videos, you just see it like, when you watch YouTube videos, they're all like wrapped up with a nice little bow and everything's all nice and edited, and that's not real. That's not real. This is real. You're watching it as it happens. You're seeing mistakes. You're seeing me mess stuff up. You're seeing things go wrong. And that's the process. That's what it's all about. Sometimes we have happy mistakes and sometimes not so happy mistakes, okay, depending on how things go. So I feel like we need to have some, I feel like I hear some, we got to have some, I don't know, something else in there. So I don't know what exactly. Woodwinds, maybe some neo. I don't know if I've ever used any neo woodwinds. So let's check it out. I hear woodwinds in there somewhere. Just kidding. That's not how I'm gonna play it. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay, we're gonna throw a whole bunch of reverb in there. Yeah, I want tons of air. Tons of air. I want a really distant sound. Maybe not that much reverb. No, definitely not detuned. I feel like it's gonna be too much. I mean, it's just a glorious, glorious sound, but it's not quite what I'm looking for. So a lot of what composing is trying stuff out and finding something that you like. So let's see what else we got here. Air might be good. It's a lot of air. too much. That's not quite what I'm looking for. What am I looking for, you ask? I'm not really sure. Okay, we can try that. But we're gonna go far because we want it to be back. A little bit more reverb. Lots of reverb. A little bit further back. Okay, so what we got here? Some Tundra winds. All right, and I don't know where this is gonna go, but you know, let's see what happens. Roll it back a little bit. So genius, right? I didn't like any of that. I didn't like a single part of that. Part of it is just it's way too high in the mix. So yeah, I think instead of doing like a line, like a melodic line, we were going to provide more of like kind of like a chordal kind of thing. I think that's gonna work better. So let's try that. Drink some coffee. Okay, so to me that worked much, much better. Still way too high in the mix. So we're gonna bring that down and let's see what we got going on here. So we're getting somewhere. So real quickly, I just rolled off some low all the winds. There's a lot of kind of air and stuff going on there, so just wanted to make sure that there wasn't any built up kind of low resonance there. Okay, so and now I hear like either like a guitar, like a classical guitar, or actually I hear like a harp, a little harp in there maybe. Where the heck is my harp? I have no idea. I haven't used it in so long. Okay, I'll get some ambient guitar in there. See, sometimes you're just spoiled. You're spoiled for choice. Let's see what we got on here. I'm sure I have a couple of harps. Piano book. Got some piano book going on there. Spitfire harp. Okay. I haven't used this in so long. I got nothing. I got no sound. What's going on here, doctor? Oh. Oh, it's just the patch that I loaded. Okay, that's the problem. Hello. Glissando, manual. Oh, main techniques. Come on, Dan. Pay attention. Okay, we can do something with this. Yeah, I want a very, very delicate sound. Yeah, no. Okay, Fragile. I don't know how to say that. Okay, we might be able to do something with that. Let's try it out. Spitfire harp. Now we're going to sneak it in, I don't know, later on. Did that sound amazing, my friends? You're probably like, dude, I can't hear it. I could barely hear it. So let's see what was going on here. So it's just barely there. Okay, it's just a little something background in there just to make something sound interesting. Okay, so usually at this point I'd probably go back and let's give everything a quick listen and see how things are going. Coffee is good. Okay, all right. So I think we got a pretty good starting point. Now, is this like a like a finished track, or is it a finished idea? No, not necessarily. But we're clocking in at 50 minutes now, and I had all kinds of technical problems. And I started with nothing. Okay, so and 2 hours is always kind of like my thing. If I can't come up with something that sounds halfway decent in 2 hours, then I'm misusing my time, or I'm just stuck. And that at that point, you might want to move away from the computer and go just sit at the piano, or go for a walk, or just take a break. But so, and this, a lot of what I do is very, very minimalist type music, and you don't necessarily have to throw a ton at it. You should be able to listen to this short little 3.5 minute thing with 5 tracks, and you should be able to feel some kind of emotion from this. And that's very much my process. As you can see, I've left a ton of headroom. So if I wanted to, I could actually, I could bring everything up. So if I'm happy with this mix, bring everything up about 4 decibels. So I still leave about -3 for headroom, and then you could throw on my my mix bus ozone, which has just my presets in there, which is literally just doing some limiting, a little bit of EQ, and just kind of cleaning up that mid-range mud, and that's it. That's all it's doing. Spit it out, send it off to somebody, and say, hey, now you can call these demos, you can call these sketches. I call it practice. Practice coming up with something from nothing, creating something from nothing, and doing it all the time, and forcing yourself to come up with something, and not always working with templates, and not always working with your favorite sounds, and trying to find different things. Stick with your strengths. Obviously, if you're a guitar player, well, then, probably you want to focus mainly on guitar. I'm a piano player, so yeah. Is piano going to be in almost every one of my projects? Yeah, chances are. And if it's not going to stay in the track, it's probably going to start it, and it's really good to sketch it out because I can play piano and I can get things done quickly, and just to come up with some ideas, and then you can always take it out afterwards. But it's good so whatever your instrument of choice is, use that as kind of your sketching instrument to get things done very quickly. That's it, my friends. Okay, there's not going to be any fancy final thoughts here. Just to give you an idea of an insight into my process, and to give you, so you can see from start to, finish, how I work, the tools that I use, and hopefully to inspire you to use whatever tools you have available, and that you don't have to go out and spend a lot of money, and you can still come up with something good, something interesting, something that people will stop and listen to, and like, wow, that's really nice. Because at the end of the day, that's really, you're trying to connect on an emotional level. If your music's not connecting on an emotional level, why bother? There's really no point, as far as I'm concerned. There has to be some kind of emotion in there. Why bother? Why create music without emotion? Makes no sense to me. So that's it. So get creating, and next week we're going to have a kind of little special episode where I reflect back on the past, because it's going to be 1 year next week since this channel started. So thanks for sticking around. Love your comments. I always appreciate it. Remember to subscribe. Hit that like button if you want to hear me play live. Follow me on Twitch. It's free. And I'll see you soon, my friends. Take care.